guy we could talk to about reflecting on a career so far that's been outstanding is Jeffery Simmons, the Titans defensive tackle, the number one draft or the 19th overall pick back in the 2019 NFL draft, joins the program. And Mr. Simmons, I'll call you Mr. Simmons, Jeffrey. Just tell me right now, after this entire offseason is sort of now at the part of the vacation and the resting part, where does Jeffery Simmons usually find his time now to get away from football?
First off, man, I appreciate y'all for having me. But, man, you really don't get away from the game of football. When just the game, the nature of the game we play, you get them couple months right after the season. But, I mean, right after minicamp, you got the OTA, you got the minicamp, then boom, you got to go right back to training because you got that month or whatnot, that 5 weeks mark before training camp. So, I enjoy just to be around my family. I'm up here in Dallas. I'm getting some work in with my guy Adam, and also all of my field work. I just worked out with my uncle who played in the league, Jason Hatcher. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now, and getting ready to actually get some field work in a little bit. But man, it's amazing just to be around family and do what I love doing. And, I love the outdoors, fishing, whatever it may be. I'm trying to get into this golf thing, which is not it's not the easy thing. I'm very competitive, so I'm out there with my uncle and I'm seeing him hit these golf balls, make it look so easy. I'm like, I'm gonna go get some lessons in tonight. So yeah, man. Just been finding things that, I've been trying to enjoy doing. Like I said, the fishing and now this golf thing. So I'm sure you guys golf, and I know a lot better than me. So
no, trust me, golf is it's very humbling, Jeffrey. No matter how many times you play it, the course will continue to humble you each and every time. But
no doubt about that.
I do want to go back a little bit, just to when you're coming out of college, Jeffrey, and you're training, getting ready for the NFL draft. And I remember you got hurt training. And so you had to miss a majority of that 2019 season. And then you came on and all the Titans fans were like, man, we may have something here. And in 2 full seasons of play, you've established yourself, Jeffrey, as one of the top defensive tackles in the National Football League. 3 seasons, I should say. You've established yourself as one of the top defensive players in all of the game. How hard was that 2019 season for you to know you should be out there, but having to rehab, but now finally getting out there and showing Titans fans in the league what we all expected from the 19th overall pick in 2019?
I mean, mentally, it was hard. I think when I reflect back on that, and I'm at a space now where I look back and say, yeah, it was supposed to happen that way. Everything happened for a reason, and that whole season, I get hurt. A couple weeks right before the combine, I was gonna go up there and do the meets and stuff. But right before, it was like that. I think it was like February 13th or something like that. And I went out there doing a normal drill, and I ended up turning my ACL. And I'm thinking like, what's about to happen now? But man, I would say once I got drafted to Tennessee, it just, I think it's just being around the people, in that building, the organization. I had a great vet. Jarrell Casey. So I think being around them type of guys helped me out a lot mentally because, one thing that, helped me a lot was, I think it was Jarrell. He just like, control what you control. And I think at that point it was just my rehab. I couldn't do nothing else. I didn't feel like I was part of that team because, I wasn't really going to the meetings. I wasn't doing the walkthroughs during camp. I was just going to rehab, maybe team meeting and straight back to rehab. But like I said, it's all worked out fine. I'm in a space now where I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be in Tennessee. The fans, I love them. I'm grateful for the city. Especially Miss Amy, man. They took a chance on me and just gave me another extension. So things have been working out just fine for me up there in Tennessee. So.
I like the All-Pro defensive tackle Jeffery Simmons of the Tennessee Titans joined the Rich Eisen Show. You mentioned it. The big contract extension, one of the highest paid defensive players in the National Football League. And you mentioned it. You had to prove it in the path that you did get to here. You mentioned that you had to continue to keep showing, hey, this is what the future is going to look like. Does that now give you added pressure even more now to continue to keep living up to what you've already accomplished?
I wouldn't say added pressure. I think when I look back on it, when I know what I expect out of myself, and I know what Tennessee expects out of me, it just, with me, how can I be a better me each and every day? I'm not going into this season trying to overdo it. I think each year you figure that what you could get better with your game, and that's kind of one of the things I looked at. I'm watching film with Coach Vrabel, I'm watching film with Coach C, and then I'm watching film up here with the medallions. It's just I want to find that next, what could take my game to the next step. And I think that's the pressure right there for me. Like, how can I get better from last year to now to take my game and elevate my game, another year going into year 5. So I wouldn't say no added pressure. I just want to, continue to be dominant. I want to be more consistent with my play so that could, help my team in the best way it can. So I think that's my goal this year. I took a lot of things from, going to the meets and OTAs and minicamp, just, hearing what I need to work on. I think that's been my mindset, just trying to focus on those things this offseason so I could be a better Jeffery Simmons for this upcoming season.
Jeffrey, how is it being coached by Mike Vrabel? What is it like being in for a guy who's won Super Bowls in this league, who played for the Patriots for a long time, was an outstanding player in his own right? What is it like being coached by Mike Vrabel?
Oh man, I love it, man. He pushes, especially me. He'll tell you that. I saw something the other day. He talking about my bark is louder than my bite, bigger than my bite, something like that. But it's fun, having a coach like that you can, talk smack to during practice, especially when you make a play or whatever it may be, just to talk smack to him. And, but it's all good, because, one thing he always says, he gonna hold his, the best players or whatever it may be to the higher standard. And I would say he hold me to one of the highest standards in the building. So, I enjoy playing for him, man. He's a real player coach. He want the best. He like to win. So, I love to win. So, we get along wonderful. So, man, it's like I said, it's good playing for Coach Vrabel.
I know one of the things now is that when you look at Coach Vrabel, obviously there's always been this mentality that you guys play with, this toughness, especially on defense. But you look at the other side of the football, the offensive side, it's also a running back by the name of Derrick Henry. You've been around him now 4 seasons. What is it about Derrick Henry that makes him so special that we don't see? Obviously, we see him running the football, but the dude seems like he's about the same size as you running downhill. What is it about Derrick Henry that you see that a lot of other people don't get a chance to see every day?
I mean, we see it every now and then on social media, but just his work ethic, man. Like, he put so much work in. I was talking to him right before we left, and he trained up here in Dallas as well. And he said, I was like, man, I'm gonna come get some hills in with you. And I'm like, I think he said he run like 21 of them. I'm like, hold on, how many? And that hill, that's a pretty long hill. But when I talked to him, though, it's just his mindset. It was a day, he'll come in and work out this morning during the minicamp. And then, I'm thinking he's done. He go to practice. And I see him going back to the weight room after the minicamp practice. I'm like, what you finna do? He said, about to get another lift in. Come on. I'm looking like, yeah, you're different. So I think that's the thing with Derrick, man. Just his work ethic, how much he put into this game. Going on year, I think 7 or 8 for him. I mean, I don't see him decline. I just see, because his work ethic and the way he still getting out there, I just see him still keep elevating.
Jeffrey, you had a couple seasons in Tennessee to where you guys have been the number 1 seed. You get to the playoffs last year, a lot of expectations on you guys. You guys don't make the playoffs, and you continue to have the expectation of, okay, we got to get here or else, or the window is closing. But for you, outside of that, when you get away from all of the noise when it comes to the NFL, when you sit down and just reflect or just relax, what is it? You mentioned the outdoors. You mentioned going fishing. How is that? How do you get that peace before you get back out on the football field?
Man, I go back to my family. When I go home, one of the things I try to do is just get away from the game for a minute. Especially after the wins or even the losses, man, is because, when I reflect, I think that's the reason why I do play the game of football. Of course I love the game, but, man, I know my son and my sisters, and you get accented by all the families. Like, my sister's going to be the loudest in the stadium. So it just, when I see the joy on their face, and I can have one of the baddest games on Sunday, and they'll feel, oh, you played great. And that's the reason why we do it, man. That family atmosphere, like when I go home, I can feel like, okay, everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think, like I said, just that's my family, man. Because I don't really do that much during the season other than, be with my family and, I do my massages and all that. But at the end of the day, I just like to be around my family.
Jeffrey, you were also a two-time All-Academic SEC. What did you major in at Mississippi State?
So I was in kinesiology starting off in my freshman year of college. And then, so I had a mindset of, I want to leave college in 3 years, but I want to graduate in 3 years. And it was like, that's no way you graduate with kinesiology. So I changed my major. It's called Human Development Family Science. And it's a major that, I'm planning on finishing this this upcoming off-season. And, I think when I picked the major, I didn't realize that I was going to have to do all these hours of, like, the services and, like, I guess I want to call it community service. I think it's just the hours where you have to go into, like, a Boys and Girls Club. I think I had to do, like, 450 hours. I'm like, whoa, I'm leaving in December. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But, yeah, my goal is to go back. I got, like, 3 or 4 classes left. My goal is to go this upcoming off-season and finish my degree. So,
just a couple more questions here for Jeffery Simmons, Titans defensive tackle. Jeffrey, obviously earlier we had Marlon Humphrey on, another player from the SEC, such as yourself. As you watch SEC football on Saturdays, and obviously you see a lot of guys who played in the SEC on Sunday that you're going up against, what is it about that conference in your eyes? What did you see in college that made you or prepared you for the NFL game on Sunday?
I mean, when you look at it, a lot of these, I feel like talent, if you got talent, no matter where you go play ball at, it's going, people going to see that. But at the end of the day, man, it feel like it got me so ready for the NFL early because, when a lot of guys are like, man, the SEC different. It's different. In the trenches, you got these, like I remember playing against in college, and that's when I would say, like, my mindset was still, like, kind of how it is now, but, I'm better. But I remember in college, I'm like, we're going to play Bama, and we playing against, like, Lester Cotton. He's 360 pounds. I'm like, I'm just 305, Coach. I'm like, what I'm going to do with that double team with that? So I think it's different in the SEC, man. The guys, the speed, the talent. Like I said, the talent is everywhere, but I just feel like the SEC just attract more, higher, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that, and especially playing in the trenches, is different, and it got me ready. I feel like for where I'm at now. So.
Well, Jeffrey, I'm gonna get you out of here on this one because I know you're gonna get to the workout and get ready. But what is it like now this year, knowing the Titans are the underdog? They're not going in as a favorite to win the AFC South. They're going in as an underdog because of what the Jacksonville Jaguars did last year. The Colts will be different at quarterback. You guys possibly could be different at quarterback as well. What is it like now with the mindset of going in as the underdog rather as the favorite as you were last year?
I mean, it don't matter. I think that's when you look at it, we were the favorite last year, and look where we ended at. I think all that preseason and, that ranking stuff don't matter to me. I go with the mindset that, I want to win. We're going to take one game at a time. And at the end of the day, it's about how much we could put it together as a team during camp and stick together and keep doing that each and every game during the season. Like I said, we're trying to build something in Tennessee right now. A lot of people say it's a rebuild year, and I told them, like, I'm not looking forward to rebuild. I'm looking forward to win. So, our mindset is, block out the outside noise, just focus on our team, and, whenever we get to the season and see, especially whoever we play, I know we open up with the Saints, and whenever we get to that point, we'll worry about that then. But right now, I feel like we're still trying to build our team. and especially with the new guys, trying to get them to buy in what we do in Tennessee, how we play in Tennessee, and I think that's our main goal right now, and our focus right now.
Well, I'll leave it at that because I know you got to get to those 22 heels right now. So I'll let you go run your 22 heels, and we'll catch up later.
I'm gonna hold off on that one right now.
Hey, Jeffrey, man, appreciate the time. Continued success. Congratulations on the contract, and we're gonna see what these Tennessee Titans of 23 have in store, man. Appreciate it as always.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.